Tonight, we're talking about Zen. And let's be clear from the start. True Zen is found not in a faraway temple, but right here, within you. To borrow a metaphor from Master Oogway in Kung Fu Panda, when the water is turbulent, you can't see your reflection. The truth is obscured by a restless mind. But if you let the water settle, the answer becomes clear. That stillness? That's Zen. First, what is Zen? And why anyone who tries to tell you is already wrong. Zen first emerged in India. The word itself is a shortened, transliterated form of the Sanskrit dhyana, which means meditative state. At its core, it's the practice of gaining wisdom through quiet observation. When it traveled to China, it merged with local philosophical traditions and became known as the Chan school or Zen Buddhism. But Zen is a form of mysticism. It defies logical analysis and champions a mind that is free and unburdened. So, if a so-called master claims they can tell you what Zen is, they're either deceiving you or they don't understand it themselves. Zen has always been about mind-to-mind transmission, an understanding passed directly from one heart to another, without relying on words or texts. It's an internal recognition. This is perfectly illustrated by one of Zen's most famous stories, the Flower Sermon. One day, the Buddha was giving a sermon on Vulture Peak. Someone in the crowd presented him with a golden flower. The Buddha simply held it up for all to see, saying nothing. The crowd was baffled, murmuring in confusion. But one disciple, Mahakashyapa, simply smiled. Seeing this, the Buddha declared, "I possess the true Dharma I, the marvelous mind of nirvana, the true form of the formless, the subtle Dharma gate that does not rest on words or letters, but is a special transmission outside the scriptures. This I entrust to Mahakashyapa." This tradition continued in China. From Bodhidharma, the first patriarch, Zen was passed down through 5 generations to the renowned Huineng. Huineng was an illiterate layman who, after joining a monastery, spent 8 months doing menial chores. Yet it was he who composed the famous verse, "Bodhi is not a tree, nor is the bright mirror a stand. Originally, there is not a single thing. Where could dust alight?" With this flash of insight, he became the 6th patriarch of Zen. After his passing, Huineng's body was naturally preserved and is still enshrined at Nanhua Temple in Guangdong, China, a place where those seeking insight can still visit today. So, what is Zen? It's a question that can't be answered with words, or perhaps even be asked at all. There's a famous Zen saying that whenever a young monk would ask, "What is Zen?" the master would hit him with a stick. This gave rise to the principle, a special transmission outside the scriptures, not dependent on words and letters, directly pointing to the human mind. What Zen is not. The wisdom to face life, not escape it. While we can't define what Zen is, we can certainly talk about what it is not. First, Zen is not nihilism. Zen texts often speak of emptiness, shunyata, and nothingness. It can seem as though Zen is about negating everything, leading many to mistake it for a nihilistic philosophy. The celebrated Zen scholar D.T. Suzuki strongly refuted this idea. So, what is emptiness? It isn't a void. Many are familiar with the Heart Sutra, which opens with the famous line, "Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form." Even without a background in Buddhism, you can grasp the paradox. Form is the vibrant material world. We see the opposite of nothingness. To say form is emptiness suggests that everything we perceive is, in some sense, an illusion. If Zen stopped there, it might indeed be nihilistic. But it continues. Emptiness is form. This reveals the second layer of meaning. Emptiness is the transcendence of dualism. Think of a coin. We say it's either heads or tails, but heads and tails are just concepts we've imposed. Zen encourages us to let go of these labels and see the coin for what it is. a single object with two faces. By abandoning the dualistic view, we are no longer trapped in an either divided by or logic. When we see the world as a collection of opposites, good divided by bad, sacred divided by profane, life divided by death, we create attachments and blind ourselves to reality. Zen offers another way, to embrace wholeness, to see life as it is, and to free our minds from the shackles of judgment. Second, Zen is not logic. Logic is the bedrock of Western thought and modern civilization. Why does Zen chart a different course? For one, Zen believes our reliance on logic has confined us. Life, it argues, belongs to the heart, not just the intellect. Furthermore, logic often comes with a self-conscious ego. When we do a good deed, even subconsciously, there's an underlying ethical calculus at play. We might be seeking praise, a good reputation, or future karmic rewards. Zen rejects this. It sees life as an art form where our actions should be unself-conscious, spontaneous, and free. A Zen master once described this state as, "The bird flying in the air does not know the air is its home. The fish swimming in the water forgets that water is its life." When you move beyond logic and dualism, what do you find? Zen teaches that by transcending the opposition between is and is not, you arrive at a state of true freedom. It sounds mystical, and in a way, it island. The ultimate truth of life and the universe is, by its nature, indescribable. Why? Because we are accustomed to understanding the world through language, concepts, and logic. From a Zen perspective, these tools are inherently limited. The truth can only be felt and experienced directly. This is what Zen means by not relying on words and direct realization. Many people picture Zen as the quiet meditation of monks in remote temples or elaborate religious rituals. In reality, Zen is deeply anti-ritualistic. It can be woven into the fabric of everyday life, becoming a philosophy to live by. The practice of Zen is diverse and informal. Every moment is an opportunity for cultivation. In the world of Zen, everyday activities, chopping wood, carrying water, eating a meal, are all part of the path. The Japanese tea ceremony, for instance, is steeped in Zen. Every gesture, from preparing the tea to passing the cup, is performed with pure focus. The host is present in the action, the guest is present in the sensation. In the time it takes to drink a single cup of tea, the outside world fades away, and the mind finds a moment of nourishing stillness. This is Zen without robes or rituals, integrated into the details of life. Consider walking meditation. Most of the time, we walk on autopilot, our minds wandering. But in walking meditation, you slow down. You pay attention to the feeling of your feet on the ground, the lifting, moving, and landing of each step. Your focus follows your movement, synced with your breath. In this simple act, you are pulled back from your scattered thoughts into the present moment. Even daily chores can become a Zen practice. When you wash dishes, treat it as a ritual of washing the dust from your mind. Focus on the sound of the water, the feel of the soap, the contact between your hands and the plates. In doing so, a mundane task becomes a moment of spiritual nourishment. How can we get closer to Zen in our own lives? Let's start with something we all do: eating. From thinking about the dishes to just eating. Have you ever eaten a meal while scrolling through your phone, your mind on a deadline, only to finish without remembering what you ate? This state of eating while thinking about the dishes causes us to miss out on so much. The truth is, there's profound Zen in the simple act of eating if we just learn to be present. Try a 3-meal disconnect plan. At mealtime, turn off your phone, your television, and other devices. For just 10 minutes, focus entirely on your food. Notice its colors, its aroma, its texture. Savor each bite as it dances on your tongue. When you truly concentrate on the act of eating, you'll find the food tastes better, and your mind and body feel deeply relaxed. From a psychological perspective, this practice of mindful eating activates the vagus nerve, helping you better register feelings of fullness and reducing the likelihood of binging or emotional eating. A study from Cornell University showed that when people focus on their food, they eat more slowly, consume less, and report greater satisfaction. So, starting with your next meal, put down the electronics and enjoy your food. Let eating be a practice, and find the Zen in every bite. Finding Zen at work. Cultivating focus amidst the KPIs. In today's competitive workplace, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by deadlines and pressure. But work, too, can be a form of practice. The spirit of Jiro Ono, the legendary sushi master who dedicated his life to just making sushi, is a modern example of work as practice. Jiro pursued perfection in every detail, from sourcing ingredients to shaping the rice. His unwavering focus not only made him a legend, but also revealed the Zen of true craftsmanship. In your own work, you can use the Pomodoro technique plus Zen breathing to sharpen your focus. Work in 25-minute intervals, and during the breaks, take 30 seconds for Zen breathing. Close your eyes, focus on your breath moving in and out, and give your mind a momentary rest. This small practice can help you stay centered and calm amid the chaos. Emotional Zen. Becoming the observer of your own mind. Life will always throw challenges our way, bringing with it anxiety, fear, and anger. When these emotions arise, we often get swept away by them. But these moments are also opportunities for practice. First, observe. Use the emotional labeling technique to identify what you're feeling. When you feel anxious, don't immediately try to push it away. Pause and say to yourself, "This is anxiety. I feel its presence." By naming it, you create a space between you and the emotion. You become the observer, not the victim. Next, accept. Once you've identified the emotion, allow it to be there. Silently repeat to yourself, "It's okay for this feeling to be here. It's just a temporary visitor." Resisting an emotion only makes it stronger. Every feeling is a natural part of life. By accepting it, you can begin to make peace with it. Finally, transcend. Use a body scan to break the cycle of rumination. Start with your toes and slowly move your attention up through your body, noticing any sensations. If you find a tense area, linger there, breathe deeply, and consciously relax it. This shifts your focus from your racing thoughts to your physical self, allowing both mind and body to release tension. For example, when you feel anxious about a work deadline, you can use this method. First, label the feeling as anxiety. Then, accept its presence. Finally, do a body scan. You'll find the anxiety gradually subsides and a sense of calm returns. The night is getting late. Let's all find a peaceful night's sleep in the tranquility that Zen brings. Goodbye, my friends.